Should we just do a grounding? Because this room is so filled with curiosity. Okay, so let's put our feet down on the floor. Okay. Take a nice deep breath. Deep, deep, deep. Put your bags away. You don't need notebooks, pen, none of that. If you need the slides, just come up to me after we are done and I'll email it to you. Okay? Breathe out. Stretch. Just make sure you don't hit your neighbor. Okay? Beautiful. Wow. How many psychic mediums in this group? How many psychic mediums? How many psychic mediums in the closet? Everyone. That was me for a long time. My name is Manna, and I am a psychic medium. I've been a medium since I was 4. Okay, didn't have an option. Was born in a family with psychic mediumship, all the woo-woo stuff. And I have been a death educator, a death doula for about 17 years. And I keep saying 17 years, right? Every year is like 17 years. Not growing old. My journey into psychic mediumship and death doula was long and twisted. And it kind of started with my own mom. I was an unofficial doula for my mom about 20-something years ago when she was dying of cancer. And that was my entrance into this world. And I wasn't trained back then, unfortunately, but I had the innate sense of what I was supposed to do for her. So that was how I got into psychic mediumship. And I'm sure everyone has their own little like story, right? You're somewhere on the path to coming out of the closet. Okay. So what I want to do in the next 1 hour, we have only 1 hour. I want to tell you how psychic mediumship works. Okay. It's not weird. It's not like, something that I don't understand. It's science. And so I want to tell you more about the quantum physics or the science behind psychic mediumship. But before we do that, I want to demonstrate it. Okay, so let's start with the demonstration. Because you always want to see, what is Manna talking about? What does it look like, right? How many of you have been to a reading by me? Okay, a few of you. So most of you are new. You've never seen me read. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of what a good mediumship reading looks like. Okay. And we'll take one spirit that comes in. And if you think it's your, just raise your hand and say, that's my family. Okay. And if it's not yours, it's okay. We can just let them go. And then I can tell you how I received that information. Okay. I think it will make more sense. Okay. Everyone ready? Okay. So I'm going to open the door. And hopefully it'll be your family member. I can't promise. Okay. So let's do this. Oof. So much energy in here. Yeah, I see a female spirit. I see a female spirit who is, I want to say she may be in her late 20s. So this woman, not late 20s, she's mid-20s. She says she's mid-20s. She has passed away in the last maybe year and a half. So I'm going to say just 1 year. 1 year or 2 years at the max. The passing was in the month of... This was a sudden passing, so she wasn't expecting it. Her mom's name is Rosa. Okay. And I don't know if the mom's here, but the mom's name is Rosa. This woman has passed in an accident. It feels like an impact. The month of January seems important, so she may have passed in the month of January. And I'm getting a Josie or a Jocelyn. Josie or a Jocelyn.
A cousin.
Cousin?
Yeah.
Who's Rosa?
Her mom. Her full name is
is
Rosa
Rosa.
Aura, but we call her Mi Tia Rosa.
Did she pass in an accident?
In a car accident. A drunk driver killed her in January of this year. She was 26 years old.
So mid-20s. Late 20s. They care about their age. So that's what a mediumship reading looks like, right? So if I was working with, your name is Joanna and Diana. So if I was working with Joanna and Diana, it will go on and on and on. And we'll have questions with the spirit and they'll give me more information. So that's how a mediumship reading works, okay? So now you're thinking, how the heck? What the heck? How does she receive all that information? Well, you all can receive this information. So I want to tell you how to get there. Okay, it's going to take some practice, but I'll make it like as compact in the next 1 hour. Okay, so let's start with the most important thing that comes. So the difference between a psychic and a medium, those are not the same things. I know we kind of use psychic mediumship in one sentence, but a psychic is someone who just reads energies of human beings and animals and places and memories in the psychic realm, okay, in the physical realm. So if I see you, I can scan you and I know what you're about. That is a psychic reading. A mediumship reading is now you're in the middle of two dimensions. You have a dead person on one side. You are the channel, so you're like the straw, like that example, right? You are the straw and the water, the information coming from the dead person passes through you to their family. So not all psychics are mediums, but all mediums are psychics. Okay? Questions? Okay, good. Did you guys know that? Okay, good. If you did. I didn't when I first got into it. I was like, psychic medium. I got a coupon many years ago, like 20 years ago, to go see a medium when I didn't think I was a medium. And I was expecting like Whoopi Goldberg from like Ghost to walk in. It was like a 25-year-old medium with her little dog in a bag, and she comes in and she was so good. I was like, man, I want to be like that. So this is how mediumship works, okay? It's really simple. All you need is a few weeks, okay? And you need your body, mind, and your spirit in one place. So let's break up each one of these things. What do you mean by human body? Anything that you see, right? The tangible body. Your organs, your tissues, your muscles, your bones, your hair, your nails. That's what I mean by human body, okay? Because even if I'm receiving this information from a dead person that you cannot see, I still have to communicate with the living person with my body, which is why I need to have my body in top shape. Whatever that means for you, meditation, working out, hiking, whatever keeps your body healthy. And I'll tell you why. So let's go into the next slide here. Let me show you something. Okay, so that's your body. Any questions? Anyone doesn't know what human body is? I'm going to come back to the mind. Let me show you something real quick. Okay. So this is the human energy system. Okay. When everyone knows that we have an aura, right? What is an aura? Aura is this beautiful electromagnetic space that extends outside of your body, your physical body, but also inside it. Okay. It's your energy body. This is an actual aura of a person, a client of mine. So I use a machine called BioWell, and that scans your fingerprints and it gives you your energetic health. So I'm going to show you what happened here, okay? So this person comes in and we did a scan. That was her aura. Rips and tears. You know why? Look at the stress levels at the top. 8.4 on a scale of 1 to 10. So now you're thinking, wait a minute, what do you mean stress? Body level stress, yes. Bad diet, toxins, alcohol, drinking, I don't know, something going on with the body. Body was sick. But also the mind. Also the mind, stress, a job that she doesn't like, a relationship that is dragging her down, poor boundaries, all that was creating stress on her body. Look at the state of her chakras. Your chakras need to be aligned by the spine in the center. All her chakras, the 7 chakras right there, are scattered all over the place. When we receive information as a medium, when I was speaking with Joanna, your cousin, the information was given to me from my crown and it just went down my spine. Now, if my chakras are not aligned, I'm not going to get that information. If my aura is torn apart, I'm not going to receive those signs. This is why most mediums don't receive information, or even though they receive it, it's pretty patchy. It's not the best quality of information. They may not get names and dates and things that we do in our classes, right? We have some of our students here. They can tell you the level of mediumship is amazing if you can take care of your body and your mind. Okay. You can look at her stress levels. So we went through some training, right? So this is the before, and then this is her after. So now her aura is all patched up. Stress levels are down. See, that's better. I mean, she still needs to work on that, but much better than the one before, right? So that's what I mean by your body, okay, and your mind. If your body and your mind are stressed out, if there's chaos, if their relationships are man, like I don't like to talk to this person, or a job environment that's not something that you actually want to do, it's all creating stress on your body and your mind. And then all those loved ones who are sending you messages, their messages are falling on deaf ears. They cannot get to you because there's so much noise. And as a psychic medium, and this is the same thing for psychics as well, okay? What happens is, because we are stressed out most of the time, we are stuck in the karmic loop. Even if you're receiving that information, the next thing you say is, am I making it up? Am I really seeing it? Am I making this shit up? So this morning we were in like level 2 mediumship. Ronica is in level 2 mediumship, and we are doing ancestral healing. And they have been through at least 4 months of mediumship training. And yet the question in the class was, how do we know you're not making this up? Right? It's when the noise fades away, you'll know that you're not making it up. And I'm showing you this because I think everyone is able to be a psychic medium. It's not magic. It just requires you to be patient. It requires you to do the practice and have really good boundaries. Really good boundaries. How many of you are amazing with your boundaries? Really? Like really good. I see one hand. She said, I'm good. Yes. So that's your energetic space. Okay. The human body is so powerful. We have 20 watts of energy flowing through our body at any point of time. So you can pretty much power a light bulb with that level of energy. And let's go back to that for a quick second. So your energy system has a beautiful biofield. There was a research that was done in 1920s by Dr. Harold Burr. And I always mention him because I think it's one of the most amazing research articles out there. And he was researching the biofield, the human biofield. And he did some experiments on mice. And he was trying to find breast cancer. And he was seeing if he can find it before it strikes. What he found was the vibration of breast cancer shows up in your biofield about 6 months before it actually ends up in your body. So if you could do a scan like this woman did, she is, just by looking and look at the number of organs in disbalance, 9 on the left, 11 on the right. So her body is telling her that she is in imbalance. If we can find this information ahead of time, you can prevent a lot of things. But for mediumship, It helps you because you understand how, you just don't close your eyes and receive information. There's so many steps to receiving that information and then being able to give it to the family that is grieving, oftentimes, right? Like those two. So we have 114 chakras. We don't have 7. We have a lot more chakras in our body. Okay. Anyone in Chinese medicine, Ayurveda? Okay. We have 114 chakras. The 7 are the main ones, like the basic ones, but there are a lot more chakras than 7. And then you have 72,000 nadis. Think of them like tubes of energy passing through your body, and they carry your life force. And you have your beautiful 8 clear senses, which are going to take you beyond your physical senses. Like you're working on your laptop and you smell that perfume that grandma used to wear. That's your clair. Okay. Or you taste something in your mouth, but you're not eating it. That is your clair gustance. And we all have it. We all have the same system. It's just what condition is your system in that will decide how you do psychic mediumship. Okay. Any questions so far? Lots of questions. Great.
8 clear senses. I'm only 6.
Mm-hmm.
7.
Yeah. So you have does anyone know all the 8? Okay. So you have the 4 basic ones, right? Clairvoyance. You have clair sentience, which will be your skin. Then you have clair audience, right? Clair gustance, taste. Clair aliens, smelling, right? Then you have clair cognizance, which is just inner knowing. So those are 6. Then you have clair empathy, which is sensing people's emotions without letting it affect you. And then you have clair tangency. So by touching something, you get the information on it. So those are 8. Okay. Yeah.
Is the last one similar to psychometric?
Psychometry, yes. Yes, psychometry is clair tangency. So anytime you walk into an antique store and you pick up a piece of furniture, it's like, this is too heavy. Yeah, that's clair tangency. You just literally use your clair to know that that piece of furniture is heavier than something that's fresh new, right? So those are your clairs. And as it says, your spirit flows through your energy system, right? And it animates to your body and your mind. So the fact that I was able to speak that information to Joanna and Diana is me using my body and my mind to get that information to her. But I had to use my energy system, my channels, my chakras, my nadis to receive that information from the spirit and bring it to them. Okay. I think there were a few other questions. Yes. Say that again.
You mentioned noise a couple
Yes.
times. How do you get the noise level down?
Yeah, in your mind, like the noise in your mind. Is that what you mean?
Well, you referred to noise a couple of times.
For me, it's not the sound, like sound of nature. That's not what I mean. It's the chatter that we have in our head. It's the doubts and the questions that you have in your mind when you see something and you immediately pop into analyzing it. The analyzing that information is going to create the noise. You see? It's not so much the noise around us. I could be in a market and still be able to see spirits because I don't have the internal chatter. I don't have the doubt and the questions. When I see something, I know I'm seeing a dead person. Does that make sense? Yeah. And your question is, how do you get there? Practice. It's got to be a whole lot of practice. Yeah, we don't do meditation in mediumship. You know why? You'll be like, wait, what? That's what I want to do now. Because mediumship makes you sit quiet, in a quiet space, I guess. But if you're not really someone who has that kind of time or the patience to do meditation every day, then you're going to fall out of it. So in mediumship, we try to find things which feel like meditation, which could be hiking, folding laundry, going on a long drive, anything that puts you in the flow. So then that's a great question. So ask yourself, number one, what is it that puts you in the flow state? But you're not really thinking, you're just going with the flow and everything's kind of working for you. What puts you in that state of mind? Anyone? It's going to be unique for each one of us, right?
A walk.
A walk.
Riding a motorcycle.
Yes. What else?
Does walking my dog count?
Yes. Yes. Dogs, playing with your dogs, hiking, nature. What else? Dishes. Yes. Laundry, music, pottery, dancing, working out. That is meditation in mediumship. Because if you engage in things which are naturally, kind of fun for you, you will do it for a very long time, right? Instead of sitting in a room and meditating. That works if you are that person, right? It works if you are someone who just loves to meditate, then do it. But for most of us, it's like, no, I need something like quick. I want to speak with the dead tomorrow morning. Right? And it's possible within 4 weeks, in the classes, within 4 weeks, people who are fresh, like they've never done anything with psychic mediumship, are able to speak with the spirit. That is not the issue. That is not the issue. How are you going to sustain it? How are you going to keep on doing it every day? And how are you going to get stronger with it? That's the question. That's the question. So, any other questions before I move forward with this? Yes.
Somewhat related, but you said that you'd be in the grocery store and you'll see a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say see a spirit as in the person's like life, memory, energy, or is it a channel connected to their soul? And then I see things now, right? Energy beings, I see flat things, dark things,
Yes.
vibrating things, poppy things. How do you differentiate between what's what?
Yeah. Great question. The first thing, so boundaries come before bonding. Okay, I always tell my students, you have to have good boundaries, meaning you have to know what is yours. Because if you don't know what your vibration feels like, then you're going to take everything on because you don't know the difference. So I would start by asking the question, what is my vibration like when nothing is going on in my life? Everything is just perfect. I'm in the Bahamas in vacation. I don't have to pay any bills. Everything's amazing. What does my body and my mind feel like? Okay. That's a question. What does your body feel like if you're in a state of complete bliss? Quiet, you'll say peaceful, whatever you come up with, then create a symbol for that. So my body feels like freedom. When I'm in complete peace, it feels like free. I feel like a bird flying in the sky. So now I know every time I pick up something or someone, if that doesn't feel like freedom, it's not mine. So right there, I created a boundary so I can see things and feel things, but I would know it's not mine because it doesn't feel free to me. Which includes relationships with living folks. That would include jobs, right? Then it starts applying to every area of your life. Because if it's not your vibration, it's not going to resonate with you. And I'll get to that in a second. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, very open.
Yes. Yes, it does. Which is that 1 hour is not enough for this. I promise you. We can do this all day long. Like I can talk about this all day long. Okay. So this is a good analogy for me when I first got into psychic mediumship. And I was trying to wrap my head around, okay, what's body and what's mind? Think of the ocean, okay? The top layer of the ocean, like the waves that we see, that's your body, okay? That's where you have the maximum impact. Like you get all the information in your body and you have to execute it. You have to speak it or give it or say it. All the emotions, everything we feel at a body level, right? So that's at the top. The second layer of the water where the sunlight hits is your mind. That's the energy system. Okay. When you go for Reiki or massage, they are working on your energy body. Okay. And then you have your spirit, which is like the rock, like the base of the ocean. It is so steady. It's been there forever. It does not care what's going on at the top. because it is so sure in itself. All the waves, all the emotions, everything is just at a body and mind level. But we all have a spirit that's so old, it has only changed bodies. And that's the bottom, the bedrock of the ocean. Okay, so this actually helped me understand how we cannot live in any one of these layers. We have to live in all three layers, right? You can't be just a spiritual person and not care about your body, or be a completely materialistic person and not care about your spirit. Then you're going to be a pain in the ass, dead person. So when you die, you're going to be like, holy shit, I thought I was all selfies and I still live. Yeah, we have seen those spirits who are so confused because they thought they were all body. And then they die and it's like, man, the body's gone, we still live. And that's what happens with many folks who commit suicides, self-inflicted death. If given a chance, they would probably not do it. Okay, because within minutes of leaving their body, they're like, shit, the suffering continues. It did not go away with the body. It just going with the spirit. Okay. Which is why the death doula work is so important, because you can actually teach people to die in a peaceful state of mind and not be afraid of death. At least they know what to expect. At least they can see that there are family members waiting for them on the other side. And that is peaceful for a lot of people. And that's the job of a doula. It's not paperwork like what people think. It's really just spiritual training to a person who's dying, and then grief training for the family after. Okay, if you're a psychic medium, it's just a natural thing to do death doula work after that. But let's move on here. So the body, mind, and spirit is good, right? Everyone gets it. We all need to have that in a good, healthy place. If your body, your mind, and your spirit is in a good place, then it's easier to receive information and trust it. Okay? But if one of those layers are off, then you may receive information, but you may not trust it, and you may start analyzing it, you'll hold it back, you may not give it. Okay? However, there are a few other things for a medium to understand. So there's something called universal consciousness. Does everyone know what that is? Does anyone know what universal consciousness is? No wrong answers here. Yeah, what is it?
It's all oneness.
It is our
Everybody's just
oneness.
the same. It's more just all connected.
Yes.
Collective thoughts.
It is the collective, yes. How else would you define it?
We're all part of one unified field of consciousness.
Yes, 1,000%. So think of it like the ocean of information out there. We all come from it, we go back into it. Each one of us is a wave coming up from that ocean, leading our own little life and going back. But that information that you are creating, like this class here, right, or any interactions you had today, that is not lost because it's all exchange of energy. So it is all stored in a web of information, an ocean of information. That's the universal consciousness. So how did Manna speak with Jocelyn, right? Well, because Jocelyn is part of the universal consciousness. Manna is too. So even if she is dead and I'm living, that's just in our mind. I'm still a spirit connected to Jocelyn and I can speak with her. So can you. Because she exists and she will always exist even after she reincarnates. Because the spirit is omnipresent. It's present in many different places at the same time. Okay? So she may be someone's mom, playing someone's mom right now, or someone's daughter, but she will still show up as their sister if they ask her to show up as their sister. Okay? Pineal gland, everyone knows. Yes, that's like the most basic. Everyone knows pineal gland. So your pineal gland is your cell phone tower. Think of it like that satellite that sits in your head, which is how we receive information. We receive information from the universal consciousness because we connect through the pineal gland. It sits in the back of your head. It is plugged into your sixth chakra. Okay. So all the glands in your endocrine system are plugged into those chakras. That's how Chinese medicine works. And it has, people do ayahuasca. Has anyone done ayahuasca in this room? Lots of you, okay. So ayahuasca has a ingredient called DMT in it. It's the main ingredient of ayahuasca. It's present in the pineal gland of humans and animals and plants. So you don't need to drink anything. It's literally in your body. You just have to activate it. And now you may ask, how do we do that? At the age of 4 or 5 is when our pineal gland becomes like a rock. Because there's toxins in the water, in the food that we eat. Maybe we start smoking, drinking. The conditioning comes in, religion comes in. Everyone's telling you, you're not seeing dead people. Shut up. And that leads to the pineal gland not functioning for most of us. So it's very easy. It takes you days to get your pineal gland working again. Breath work, meditation, less stress on your body, good diet. All those things will lead to your pineal gland doing its job.
So what is that job that DMT and the pineal gland have?
It gives you the elevated states of consciousness that people think if you drink or you go on a mushroom journey, you have these elevated states of consciousness with no boundaries. Okay, you haven't done any. It's not a blanket statement, so please don't be offended. But people who have not done psychic mediumship and they just want quick access to the other side have no idea what you're getting access to. Because now you are an open portal. And just like there are good and bad people here on the living side, we also have good and bad spirits on the other side. So if you don't understand that, you're going to open yourself up through ayahuasca or all these journeys to things that you don't understand. So it's better for you to study it before you do ayahuasca or whatever you want to do. After that is fine. Okay. You have your 8 clairs. So the way I kind of think of this is your body is your laptop. Okay. It's your computer. Your pineal gland is your connection to the internet. The internet is the universal consciousness. And now you're just literally downloading data into your body. That's how mediums work. And my most favorite topic is vibrational resonance. So you asked me, what's your name again? Anthony? Anthony said...
I didn't tell you that way.
You didn't tell me? Oh, shit. Yeah, he did not say his name. Okay. That's the psychic in me. So Anthony said, if I go to a... Do I see anyone back there? No. He's asking, how do I know if things that come into my existence are mine, or if it's a dead person, or is it like a living person that I'm reading? So let's talk about vibrational resonance. Anything that is coming into your being, into your existence, is equal to your vibration. Okay, that's just like science, and I'll explain you how. If imagine there's a loudspeaker blasting music, okay, and then you put an empty glass in front of the loudspeaker. At some point, the vibration will match the empty glass and the sound, and that will explode or crack the glass. And that is what vibrational resonance is. When your vibration matches with someone else, there's an explosion of good and bad, good or bad. So if your vibration, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10 is 9, you're amazing, you're doing great, you're awakened, you're like Jesus Christ today, okay? Anyone who comes into your existence will either match that vibration, or if they are of lower vibration, they're going to take from you. And they are going to feel great, and you are going to feel not so great. Because they sucked energy out of you, and now you are not at 10, you're like somewhere at 5. So that's how vibrational resonance works. You match what you're receiving. And if it doesn't match, then it falls off. So sometimes in your life, you have people who are super important to you at one point, and suddenly you don't even see them anymore, right? And you're like, what happened? We live in the same area. We never see each other. Your vibration shifted. So now they don't see you. Sometimes in a relationship, you may be with someone that is not growing as fast as you are. And what happens is they begin to not hear each other at all. Like you may say something and the other person doesn't understand you, right? And you're thinking like, what, how? Well, there's vibrational dissonance. Your vibrations are not matching. So for mediums and psychics, that's really important to understand. If you're not going to study mediumship and you just want like a fast track access to dead folks, know that there are people, right, who just want to do like quick, I'm going to channel today, I'm going to drink something and, guess what's going to happen? Depending on where you are in your life, right? Maybe you are in a state of stress or anxiety. I don't know what's going on in your life. You are going to say hi to a spirit just like you on the other side. Maybe a harmful, evil spirit. And I'm not trying to scare you. I've seen all kinds of things in psychic mediumship. So I know these things are, like possessions are true. It happened with one of my students. Okay. So, I'm not making it up. I just want you guys to know that if you don't have the patience to study mediumship, don't go into mediumship circles or don't eat or drink to get like fast track access to something that you don't understand. Try to study, try to spend, even if it's your own pace. Maybe it will take you a year. But this is really simple how we do it. Body, mind, spirit, all aligned. You access the universal consciousness using your pineal gland. You receive information which is then understood through your 8 clear senses. And then that's how we give it to the family or the living folks, like I did. Yes.
What if you just want to hear your own guides?
Say that again?
You just want to hear your own guides. You don't want people to.
Yeah, same thing. It's the same process. Dead folks come in. So dead people some of them are your guides, by the way. Okay. So we have this misunderstanding that somehow we are inferior to our guides and guides have some like deep knowledge. Sure, they're just dead folks who have done the work on the other side. So there could be ancestral guides in your family, right? Like a grandma who passed away, but she has healed to a point that now she's your guide. So I don't want you guys to think there's like living and dead and guides and ascended masters. No. It's all spirit beings. Some are in the body. Some are outside the body. The ones who are in the body have a range of vibrations, right? Someone is sad, grieving, depressed, happy, peaceful. Same thing on the other side. You're going to have teachers in the living world, and you're going to have teachers on the other side too. You have guides on the living side. You have guides on the other side too. You have ascended masters here. You'll have ascended masters over there too. It's the same thing. The line does not exist. The line between the living and the dead is just in your mind. Just in your mind. It's literally spirits all around you outside of their bodies. And how many of you are outside of your body every day? Even though you have a beautiful body, you decide to stay outside because it's so much more fun. Do you realize how we are so connected to the dead? Because we try to think of it like, oh, my grandma died, now I can speak with her. No. You decided not to speak with her. She can still speak with you. So unfortunately, we decide to ignore our loved ones. Like I've seen this in those hospital rooms when I do death doula work. Like they'll be crying, holding hands, and the person dies and they all turn around. They all start like talking about them. The person's still here. The spirit is still there in the room, listening to you. Yes.
So I had like a very deep experience with hospice. That's always very hard as a family to explain the family around. Are there any kind of advice that you can give, in that situation?
Yeah, I would. So obviously there are two aspects, right? You have the family, right? You have the family that is grieving, and then you have the person who's dying. If both those people can work with a doula, that's amazing. It gives you incredible results because, and give it time, like couple of months, couple of sessions to understand, to process that. Especially if they have never done that kind of work, it's going to take time. Now, sometimes one of the other is resistant to it. They're like, I don't want to do this. That's okay. That's the rite of passage, right? And when you are dying, you don't want your family to be in the middle of it either. You're like, this is my process. Don't come in here, right? We have these grand ideas of how death should look like for us and our loved ones. And it doesn't look like that always. Just in this room, some of us are going to die peacefully. Some will have dementia. Some will die suddenly. Some are going to die with your friends and family members alone. We have all chosen how we want to exit. And the job of a doula and the grieving family is to witness it and be there for your dying loved one, not to intervene or interject in their process. And it's very difficult when you are the family because you want to get in there and change it for them. Okay, so that's the first realization that comes to a lot of clients is, yes, my loved one is dying, but I cannot take their pain away. All I can do is witness it, be there for them. Okay, so we think like, I told my mom it's okay to leave and then she died. No connection. No connection. Yeah. I just had a client like that a couple of weeks ago. She's like, I did some healing work on my dad who was in the hospital, and 1 hour later, he's dead. Did I kill him? I'm like, no. No, like that was her question. She's like, did I do something like that? Which is why I would say, don't do anything. Just be there for them. Whatever they need. That's our job. It's their dying process, not ours. So we want to remove ourselves and still be there for them, right? Yeah.
So is it true, like, if when the person is dying, like that phrase that I'm saying, they saw their life pass before their eyes? Is that like them transitioning, like, the spirit out of the body? Like, that's what I imagine. Like, if my
For sudden, yes. So for Jocelyn, so when people die suddenly in an accident or a violent death, people often ask, did my loved one feel the death? Like, did they feel the pain? The answer is the body did, but not the spirit. Because the spirit leaves the body. Imagine yourself going through a rough day, like a day when you're depressed and sad and painful. Maybe you had a surgery, you come home. Your spirit's not in your body. Your spirit exits the minute you feel like this much pain in your body. Your spirit's like, this is too much pain. I don't want to take it. So the spirit leaves the body and watches it. Kind of check out. Yeah, we are checked out sometimes because the body is in pain, or maybe you have emotional trauma, or maybe there's abuse in your life. We are checked out and we are living a life like a robot. So when you're dying, and if it's a sudden violent death, the spirit will exit the body. Even the peaceful ones that I've experienced. So I do a lot of work with peaceful deaths, like cancer, like those kind of deaths. And I see that before the person's going to die, somewhere in the room, it gets like really green. Like it'll become like emerald green because that's the color of love. So when the spirit exits the body, you see like a green, like fireworks or something in the space. Even when our animals die, you have like these beautiful green fireworks in the room. Okay, so if you have the sense to see it, look for the green color in the room. And you know that the spirit exited the body and they're somewhere around, way before the body was declared dead. And we have a few folks in our class who had near-death experiences. They're declared dead and they came back. And they describe what they felt and how they were outside of the body and they saw the whole thing. It's really fascinating. Death is not that scary as we make it out to be. Yes.
I have a question. I have a friend who recently passed, was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. He's like 55, not a drug addict, just died. Wife found him in the basement. Like, do people like control their timing to some degree? Like, why? You know, like, it's kind of strange.
Yes. So we do have exit points, and this all comes from people who have had near-death experiences. If anyone's interested, there's a near-death experience organization. They do a lot of research on that. But we get like some exit points in our life where we can decide whether we want to go, where you may have come real close to dying and you just didn't die, and then suddenly you die. And so my brother, who was 37, passed away in August, sudden, just like that, gone like that, overnight. And he has a 12-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. And I'm playing a doula to his family right now. And I'm thinking, whoa, like that was unexpected, right? He's 37. But yes, he made that choice. We were able to speak with him after he passed. So we had a group of mediums bring him in, and we did a session, and he explained what he's doing now. It's really fun. The grieving actually help you grieve faster, you know, if that makes sense. You feel a little bit better about your loved one. So I would suggest that whoever that person is, if they're open to seeing a good medium, they should. Just wait for a couple of weeks, maybe a month.
Does that grieving, I mean, we're humans, so we are going to grieve, but does that grieving then, how does that look to the spirit that just moved on? Are they wanting to, like, oh, you're sad, I want to come back and be with you? Or what does that do to that spirit?
Yeah. Wow, what a great question. So imagine you drop off someone at the airport and then you just like cry and you hug and you don't let them go. What's going to happen to them? They'll be so sad. They won't want to go. And that's what we do when we are grieving. Our loved ones feel like shit. You know, like I can't leave and go if this family is grieving. So our grief is very valid, is super sacred, right? But it has its own place. And when someone dies, I wish more people would focus on the person who just died than our grief, because we have so much time and space to process it. They have literally like dropped their body. They are in a new like reality. They don't know how things work for a few seconds, right? They have to adapt to like this new side. And we don't do that. We cut all relationship, like it's gone, they're gone, we can't hear them, we can't see them. And then everything becomes about us and our grief. And that's okay if we can respect their rite of passage. Right? Yes.
Have you ever seen the Grim Reaper? A construct of humanity, so it doesn't really exist.
No, I have not. Tell me more.
Well, the Grim Reaper is commonly seen as a shrouded, dark entity that comes at the time of somebody's passing.
Oh, no, I've never seen that. I have only seen family members show up to receive them. I've never seen like, oh, I'm going to take you down into the fire. No, that's a good question.
But I think it goes back to resonance, right? I mean, there are people who see different things. If you keep yourself in a register.
Yeah. So one of my students, she died at 7. She was 7 years old. She was in the swimming pool. She dies. And the way she saw it was she saw fairies and unicorns and colors and everything. And her body was sucked into like the little drainage pipe in the swimming pool. That's how she felt, like someone was sucking her in. And then the whole thing became like a tunnel. And she was a 7-year-old child, so she's having fun. She's looking at colors. So once again, resonance. She as a child is resonating with that. And it's making her feel comfy, right? Which is also why we need to be peaceful when we die. Because if your vibration is peace, that's going to be your experience in death. If your vibration is anger, resentment, hate, narcissism, I don't know where you are when you're dying, fear, I don't know what that experience may look like. Because you are going to create your own experience when you transition. Yes.
Have you ever experienced someone who didn't want to leave, and so their spirit keeps coming back? and quote haunting.
Are there hauntings? Is that your question? Yes, there are hauntings. Yes, hauntings. We call them earthbound, but they're not like the movies though. They're not going to harm you. Their energy feels heavier. They're lost. So imagine a person, like a living person who's lost and confused. How would their energy feel like? That's how it feels with a person who has not transitioned. They're not necessarily trying to harm you. They're just confused. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. They don't want to go. They could be angry, yes. But their intention is not to harm. They're just in a confused state. They're like in between state, where they haven't really transitioned, but there's a way to help them. And there are mediums who work with lost souls to help them transition, yes. Yeah. I'm going to come to you in a second, yes.
I was wanting to know about the timing after death of doing radiant.
2.5 months to 3 months.
And is it the same with animals? Because I don't really do people, but I work with animals. Is it the same?
Yeah, I would say not necessarily for the spirit, yes, for them, because you give them some breathing space, but especially for the family. When you are grieving, you're not always in the right state of mind to receive messages. So even if the medium does their job, you may be like, what the heck is going on? Like, I don't understand this message. When you are outside of the grieving, like 3-month window, you may actually receive what your loved one is telling you. Right?
Because I know there's been some times when I've tried to connect with someone that's an animal that's passed over and I get nothing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it's somewhere between day 3 and 10. I feel like
yeah, give it some time, I would say. But if it's a sudden death, like a suicide or a violent death, I do check-ins. Like I will quickly check in with the spirit to make sure that it transitions. And then we'll do a full reading in like maybe 2 or 3 months after. Yeah. Okay.
I have a question. What do you feel is the importance of actually being in body?
Just presence. Presence, right? I mean, if you're not, why do you have a body? Why did you choose a body? To experience everything here. So if you're going to stay outside of your body, what's the point of having a body? Because remember, once we die, there are certain things we don't get to experience as a spirit that we do as a body. Food is one of them. Like spirits will often say, can you ask them to eat cheese? Macaroons. Yeah, because they don't get to experience that. So they would often bring those demands. So I think anything that you can experience in a body, we should do it fully, like presence, with presence. Because one day we're not going to have a body.
Since you mentioned that you see dead people sometimes in the store, do you also see like non-human spirits?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that...
Oh, yeah. So for me, because I've been doing it so long, I see dead people like I see living folks. Okay. So, but I know the difference. Don't ask me how, I can't explain. I just know it. Like I know there's a dead person here. I'll come to Joanna in a second.
I was going to ask you about out-of-body experiences.
Yes.
And also about saging.
Saging?
Yeah, and out-of-body experiences too. So sometimes if people can experience an out-of-body experience and maybe they look at themselves.
Yes.
Like, what is that?
That is exactly how you would feel when you are a spirit. Okay, so that's a great question because remember, we don't need to be near death or we don't need to die to experience what a spirit feels like. A spirit feels present. They are super present and whatever they are feeling and whatever emotions they are feeling, they are like 100% there. Once we have a body, we are not. We are checked out or we are having astral travels or we are outside the body. If you have a body for, let's say, 75, 85, 95 years, try to stay in it as much as possible because it's beautiful. You can do some amount of like astral travel in your dreams if you want to do that, but make sure you come back in your body daytime. Imagine your body to be your house, okay? If you're not in your house, if you just leave the doors and windows open and you leave, what's going to happen? Someone else is going to take over. So if your spirit leaves your body and your shell, your empty shell just sitting there, that this is when the aura breaks because other energies will take this empty shell that you have. So it's really important for psychic mediums to be in our bodies because we are open portals to receiving information. So if I'm not in my body, something will quickly take over my body. Okay, so that's very important.
Without your permission?
Yes, without my permission, yes.
They do it while we're in our body.
Because you left your body open. It's like leaving your house open. You think someone's not going to sleep in your bed or eat from your fridge? Right? Same thing with your body. And then you're going to miss all the messages coming in. Because where do messages come in? In your body. So if you're trying to tap into your intuition, which is the whole point of this workshop, if you're not in your body, how do you know that you received the message? You will not. You will not. Yes.
So two things.
Yes.
You call a lot of things in. There's just like, I'm sitting here, I'm just kind of like seeing things flop all over the place. It's very interesting. Two, because I've had this like fast track to clairvoyance, I've been saying, for the last 2-3 months, I can't see when things jump in on people. It's almost like the kind of overlay.
Okay.
And I see it with my pets, see it with my dogs, I see it with people around me when they're like in a bad mood.
Yeah.
I almost see something like walking with them.
Right.
Like,
I used to, yeah.
That's where you're pissed.
Yeah. I used to see that in like television characters. I'd be watching like a show, I'd be like, holy shit, there's a snake on him. Yeah. Yes.
It's like a body that just like walks with you as you're walking. And,
yes. Those are people with poor boundaries.
They're vulnerable to something.
Yes. Yeah. It's vibrational resonance too. So people ask me about spells and curses, and they say, can people put a spell on you? Sure, but it's not going to get to you if your vibration's high, right? If your vibration is, let's say, like really high, 9, a curse or a what do you call it, like a spell, that's a very low vibration. That's not going to reach you because you're up here, that's down here. It will only get to you if you are matching it. Okay, that's how vibrational resonance will always work in our lives. Yes.
So I have a question. My son was going through dental work, and so he had to go under anesthesia. So they have me on your hand, have him in my arms, and then they're doing that. And I watched him like as though he's leaving his body and he's going. Is that something like that?
Even people who are in coma, you often see them. We are prone to just exit our body, which is because we have done it so many times. Does anyone believe that you've never died before? Does anyone believe that this is the first time you're ever going to die? It's okay to have that belief system. I'm just wondering. Because it's not so, right? We have died so many times. That is so innate to us to be outside our body, come back in, to speak with spirits. It's all innate. It's all built in, which is why it's called intuition. Okay, it's in you. We just have to find it and strengthen. I had a woman today. I don't know if anyone has she just walked in, but I felt like she was not dead. Her name's Daisy. She's like a grandma. Is there anyone with a grandma? You have a grandma named Daisy? Is she with us? Oh, she's not with us. Is she recently passed?
No.
2-3 years?
Longer than that.
Longer than that. Interesting. When she came in, it felt to me like this is a person who has dementia. She hasn't passed for some reason. How did she pass?
They operated on her heart and she didn't make it in operation.
Oh, okay. Can see how. Yeah, so she walked in. Daisy walked in. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I have only space for one spirit today. Yes.
When you were talking about my cousin, when she passed away all of a sudden, did she pass away like peacefully or was she angry? Or?
It felt like she was definitely outside her body when it happened. She could see some lights. She could see like red lights. She could see huge, like maybe they were trying to revive her at some point. Were they trying to revive her? They were? Yeah. And it was a lift. So she was coming out of a freeway exit. It's how it feels. There's a red light or something, and she's going left, and there's a car, and there's impact. Is that how it happened?
Yes, because what I was trying to say, you said that spirits, sometimes they pass and they come out angry or they come out happy. Like, I was wondering.
She seems happy.
She was happy? Okay.
She seems happy. She definitely seemed like she just wanted to be here and say hi to her mom. I thought her mom's here because she said Rosa.
On the other side, after you pass, are there choices?
I believe so. From what has been told to me by my near-death students. So the 7-year-old that I told you about, she was taken to the tunnel, Carrot. And she came to this place where it was like a huge gate. And all along, she was followed by shadows. Okay, so she could see like these shadow people. She couldn't see who it was. But they were very kind and they were sweetly guiding her to the tunnel. Then she comes to this gate. And because she was only 7 in her human self, they showed her what her future would look like. They showed her all the options. And then she was told, if you pass the gate, it's done. You can't go back. So you have to make a choice whether you want to go this way or that way. And then she chose to come back. And she does not. I asked her, I said, do you remember what those choices were? Like the life. She's like, she can't remember any of like what they showed her. But she has a sense of seeing her future and what that could look like if she goes back. And then she got back and she came back and she saw they were trying to revive her. And she was flying over like all the people. All the kids were crying. This was at a school camp. All the kids were crying. And then she came on her body. And then something just slammed her inside her body. Mm-hmm. And then she felt the pain from it. Immediately, she was like, I started crying and yelling and screaming for my parents. Mm-hmm. But while she was outside, she didn't care about her parents. She didn't think of them. She was just having fun with all the unicorns and fairies. And then once she's back in her body, she felt like, because they were revived, it's a 7-year-old child and they were giving pressure on her chest. So she could feel all that once she was back. That tells me we feel the pain once we are in the body. Physical pain. As a spirit, she did have choices. She had the choice whether to die or come back. We have the choice of the family that we choose. We choose it. So if you've been blaming your families, yeah. It's like, shit, I can't blame them anymore. No, we chose them. Okay, we choose our families, our parents, and they chose us. And that's what the whole soul contracts thing is, that we do study in mediumship. So we pick colors on people, and then I like how you guys are trying to read me. Woo! Woo! Hide here. Hide here. But yes, you can read people with colors. Now you see the color, right? You say, okay, is it a good color or bad color? You start asking questions to the color, and that gives you more information on the person. Now, if I was a client of yours, you have permission to read. If I'm not a client of yours, then you can only read in relationship to you. Okay, I want to make sure that we are ethical with it, right? So the way you read people is, okay, I'm going to get into a job with this person or a project. I need to know how this person is. That's okay to read them, because it's in connection to you. But if they got nothing to do with you, you're just walking around, and I'm going to read you. No, not ethical. Okay, because it's like opening someone's closet to see what's inside. You don't want to do that. Yes. Ugh. You see a lot more shit. Thank you so much, guys.